Anthony Richardson's light workload. Should we be worried? All that and more on this, the No Horsing Around podcast. So, day 2 of mandatory OTAs, and it comes out that Anthony Richardson kind of had a really, for lack of a better word, like a really light day, and the tweets and things like that, they're everywhere. You can see them right here. You got Kevin Bowen, an odd day for Anthony Richardson. Joe Flacco took the starting reps in a couple of periods. First time we've seen that this spring. Richardson has been looked at by the medical staff, still out there with his helmet on as practice reps. James Boyd, who we love, friend of the show. Just to clarify, Anthony Richardson had his right shoulder looked at by trainers a few times today, but no one seemed worried. The Colts quarterback did not take the majority of first-team reps like he did yesterday or during the 3 OTA sessions we watched. Light day overall. James also put out there, Joe Flacco took the first-team reps to start 7-on-7. Anthony Richardson looked like he was stretching his right shoulder out with a trainer. He's in there now, just ripped a throw, looks fine. And then kind of the latest ones from Stephen Holder. Yes, Anthony Richardson took some portions of today's practice off, and the trainers were briefly looking at his shoulder. But the important thing to note here is that if there were any concern, they would have treated it like a 5-alarm fire rather than reacting with a shrug. So, you see those, and you see the tweet saying, hey, he didn't really practice. We know yesterday he seemed to kind of maybe tweak his back a little bit. He was doing the roller pad, went back out. And then, today you hear hey, he's stretching his shoulder out. We don't really know. You've got Stephen Holder, I think Mike Chappell at one point, all kind of came out and said, my concern level is not that high. I don't have this massive high concern level that he's injured his shoulder, that something's going on. And, obviously it catches fire. I'm taking a timeout from dealing with Titans morons. But at the same time, Titans fans start coming out oh, Flacco season already. I think we got to rewind here. Let's rewind a little bit. First of all, we know that he's about a month ahead of schedule, kind of what we've heard, right? And then he goes on Pat McAfee earlier in the week, and he even says, hey, they told me this time frame of let's say it's 4 months, and he came back in 8 weeks, something like that, right? When he was going to be throwing again. It's also important to note that in that conversation, Pat asked him, hey, man, you've been ripping the ball. We've been seeing these bombs in the OTAs. Are you back to 100%? And Anthony was really quick to say, no, I'm about 95%. So you combine the fact that 1, he's ahead of schedule, 2, he's 95%. I look at this more precautionary, right? He's ramped up his throwing. He's really throwing the ball. We've all seen the videos. You've seen them on this channel, right? Of bombs to AD and Alec Pierce and just Michael Pittman Jr. and all over the place, right? His shoulder's sore. He's not thrown since the Titans game last year, right? He's not really had really thrown, really ramped up, sore. And I'm sorry. I know this is one of those things where people are oh, don't say it. As a Colts fan, you should have learned something from Andrew Luck and us losing him, right? It was always felt that he was rushed back from that shoulder injury, and that he rushed it, and that the Colts misjudged it, and all these things, and all this stuff happened. We're sitting here in June, okay, beginning of June. Training camp's not till the end of July, beginning of August, and the season's not for another 90-some-odd days. I'm cool. Let him rest his shoulder. If it's a little sore because he's ramped up, that's fine. If he's having to stretch it, okay. At least he's telling you, hey, man, it's a little sore. Let's, and they take it a little light today. Stop freaking out, you guys. 1, Colts fans, stop freaking out. It's not a big deal. 2, other fans, shut up. It's not Flacco season. Simple. Boom. Done. Do I expect to see him? Let's see. We had yesterday, we have today, and I think we got tomorrow. Do I expect to see him tomorrow? Probably. I mean, today's almost like a rest day. No one says anything when another quarterback takes a rest day, right? But Anthony Richardson's like, oh no, what's going on? Calm down, okay? You've got trusted reporters who, at this point in time, we should trust, right? Kevin Bowen, James Boyd, Stephen Holder, Mike Chappell, all these guys, right? Who the local media for the Colts, especially, way more plugged into what's going on. And I think Stephen Holder said it best. If it was a big deal and there was any concern, they're treating it way different instead of he's okay. Like he's okay. Like, and Steichen even said that after the practice. He was like, "Hey, she's fine. Like he just took a lighter day. Like it's okay, nothing to worry about. We're just monitoring and making sure." I mean, just breathe deep, you guys. So, what do you like? I do want to ask though, what do you think? Are you concerned? Does this worry you? Or are you like me and saying we're sitting here on June 5th on the second day of a mandatory OTA and he had a light practice because his shoulder may have been a touch sore? Where do you sit? Drop it in the comments and let me know. Okay. And as always, you guys, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all those great things. And as always, you guys, I love you. I know the Colts love you. I'm out.